welcome to Football and Sports Podcast. I'm John. Scott will be with us in a minute. Robin's here. Hey, Robin.
Hello.
How are you? Well, I know how you are.
Yeah.
It's a dumb question.
I have no idea why the camera got shut off. I didn't even touch anything. It did it on its own. Hi, everybody.
Hey, what's happening? What's going on?
That was weird. Yeah, I don't know what just happened there, but nothing, man. How you doing, buddy?
All right. Happy St.
In the
Patrick's Day.
50s? Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, my friend.
Yeah, 50s. But tomorrow we hope fall to the 30s, right?
No, dude. This Mother Nature's got a serious issue with bipolar disorder in this area of the woods. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you could have wore shorts today, cargo shorts, and tomorrow you're probably going to have to shovel.
I know. I hope it doesn't reach us. I'm hoping
it's not supposed to, right? Isn't it supposed to stay on the south side of Buffalo, I think?
I think so, yeah. We should be.
I hope not.
Just temperatures, that's all.
Yeah, it still sucks. So it's the weekend, dude. It's to make sure you can't do shit outside.
St. Patrick's weekend, yeah.
It's probably a good thing. Well, I don't know. It's dangerously, actually, based on that, it's probably dangerously warm out right now.
Yeah.
I know the bar at the end of my street is hopping.
Oh, yeah. I could imagine.
Packed.
I'm expecting to see that there'll be a melee, big fights, Pier 6 brawl, everything.
6 DWIs, maybe 7, depending.
Yeah.
Depending how many cars are out.
The fighting that goes on there is amazing. I'd be thinking they're too old. Like, you think a bar like that would be like a bar that only old guys go to.
Not anymore.
No,
it was like the new people. Well, it wasn't the new people. It was the grandson came in and just brought a new clientele. Actually, it's probably the busiest it's been in years.
Wow.
They probably make it doing a lot better than they do. It's been pretty decent down there. They do pretty good, I guess. I think they didn't stop their chicken wing thing, which was that. I mean, my street was full, bro.
I could imagine.
50-cent wings? You don't see that anymore. That's like, I mean, holy cow, dude. That's like yelling free crack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the middle of a bunch of drug addicts.
They're so
it would be so busy, and then it was 75 cents takeout, but I guess they canceled it. I don't know. I think chicken wing prices got a little too high.
Oh, yeah. It's outrageous. If you see me, I'm just looking at the scores. Let's talk off the bat NCAA basketball. March Madness, as you see there, of course. I love the court. Anyhow, here's what I noticed, and you notice this every time, just filling out brackets. And actually, the number 12 seed you could always count on maybe for an upset, a 13, an 11. Now, man, a 15 beating a 2 is nothing. I mean, this is happening a lot.
That's why I'm so confused with college bat. When I see the things that are happening, I'm like, this is why I can't follow it, man. How is a team that's ranked 2, because I've been betting it based on things that we've talked about. And I'm like, how is a team that's rated like that's ranked 2nd almost losing to like a 15th ranked team? I'm like, that should be like a blowout, or maybe not a blowout, but at least like a 15-point win or something, right? 10 or 15. Am I wrong?
No, it should be, because the line's usually going to be over 15.
Everything seems to be always. I expect these teams to blow a team out, and they don't.
Yeah, well, like Princeton.
I shit myself.
Yeah, Princeton beat Arizona. So, I mean, Furman beats Virginia, right?
I was on Furman, though. Thankfully, I got a tip on that one.
Yeah, Princeton always plays good. Now, Princeton's going to play. Who do they play next? They play number 7 Missouri. Why can't
they blow out, aren't they?
I don't know, but why not beat them? Why can't Princeton win again?
What did they do that was so different? They were ranked what they were ranked for a reason. Why did they just get lucky?
No, and of course they're Ivy League, so no one pays attention to the Ivy League.
Everybody was shocked about them.
I remember as a kid, Princeton would always give people a hard time because they used to play that. They used to do they kind of did it again, a stall, like where they'd go out there on offense and just use as much of the clock as they can before they shoot. You know what I mean?
Oh, so they just run time clock right down.
And then the one thing that I noticed they do is they guard against the 3 and let the team score 2 if they want. But then they shoot 3s.
I was just going to say, well, how are they on their 3 percentage?
They're awfully good.
Well, so that's their game. They don't count on the boards. They're counting on hitting 3s and playing, smart. Just letting them score. Go ahead, slam dunking on us all you want, buddy.
Yeah, it's kind of smart. And then they
pressure. It's going to work. It's going to bite you or it's not. I mean, you still got to make those 3s.
Yep, and they pressure.
That's probably why they're ranked 16th.
And they pressure everyone. There's always pressure. Pressure. But they play in a bad conference. So
who else is in the conference?
Yale, them kind of guys.
Oh, so it's just an all Ivy League conference.
Yep, Ivy League.
Oh, okay.
That's what they are. They're the Ivy
Oh,
League.
so actually, you got to give them a lot of credit then for coming out, and they should be getting their asses kicked, to be honest, right?
They've done this, man. Historically, Princeton is they've in the past. Oh my God! Ever since I can remember from the '80s, they always are a tough out if you get them in the.
Well, they take out them top ranked contenders when they just
have. But this is unbelievable this year because 15 beats 2. Who else? There's some other ones. I mean, Iona right now is down by 5 against number 4 UConn. Iona's in Niagara's division, and Iona's number 13. So I mean, they're in the game. They're still in it, second half, and coaching though, right? Rick Pitino, he won with Louisville, he won with Kentucky, he's won everything. So that's probably a good plus for Iona, who Niagara almost beat in their tournament. I mean, it was a close game.
Yeah,
and real close. Came right down to the last minute. Yeah. If you're right, Robin. Wow. You remember?
So, sucks. That sucks when you're on the losing end of that.
Yeah. Now Furman, for example, Furman's going to play number 5 San Diego State University. Why can't they beat that? And like I'm saying, these aren't teams historical. Teams.
Now listen, one of the things I found about Furman is I heard about Furman from the Pat McAfee show because he had a guy on and he was talking and McAfee made note of that. And he was talking about it again today, but I remember that conversation.
Right.
And he does that a lot with people. He'll bing, okay, write that down, or I'll look at the guys because it's about gambling. When he's not trying, but if a nugget falls out, he takes it. You know what I mean? And he had talked about that. He had said, the guy said, hey, they're shooters. They're good shooters. That's the guy told him, and he just went with that information. So
number 6 Creighton, they're always good, and they just beat North Carolina State, and they're going to be tough. Whoever's got a match.
What was the difference in rankings with that? I had Creighton, dude. I had a parlay. You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We had Xavier, lost. Creighton, money line, won. And Gonzaga.
Yeah.
I'm sick right now, dude.
Yeah, right.
That was a good one. That was a decent payoff on that one.
That is a good one. And it was. It definitely was. And you know who's another good there's a couple teams though, like Michigan State is a number 7. And of course the coach is Tom Izzo. They've been good forever. And they beat USC today. And what I'm saying is these number 7s, the number 9 Auburn looked great last night. They were big and athletic. I don't know how they're 9. They looked outstanding. Pittsburgh is ranked as an 11. I don't know who they just beat. They just beat some Iowa State today. What I'm saying is these teams are good.
Well, Iowa State's horrible.
And they're a 6. Iowa State was 6.
And they're horrible. And I know that just because the one dude on McAfee show is a huge fan. And he said they always lose. They never win these games. Their record in these games is terrible.
And that's what happened to
I think the coach that they have now is 1-2. That's it.
Both Iowa teams are exactly like that because Auburn beat Iowa last night, and Iowa should have I don't know, they should have competed a little better than that. I mean, they got pretty much blown out. So who else today? Xavier, number 3 Xavier. That was a close game. They lost by 4.
I thought they were going to lose.
I did too.
I really thought they were going to lose. Just like, dude, last night at one point I'm like, is Northern Kentucky going to beat Houston?
Right.
Dude, that game was tight, and that game was tight for a long time. Right. I was like, is Houston? I hear all this shit about Houston being so great, and they're almost going to get beat by Northern Kentucky.
Well, yeah, Tennessee, number 4.
And that's the second game. Now, that's Houston's second game that I watched where they came close. Like, they tightened. Obviously, they ended up 63-52 does not give that doesn't really tell the story of what happened in that basketball game because they played like shit in the first half of that game. They really could have lost.
And today, Tennessee. They almost lost to Lafayette. They only won by 3, 58-55.
See, that's what I mean about the rankings. How in the world, other than that number 1 top dog, unless 2 is that close to number 1, the rest it seems like just a big glop you throw it in a pot. From 15 to 2, I'm sorry, some might be a little bit better, but on a good day, 15 can beat 2. Is that not how it normally is?
No, that's why this is so crazy this year. I feel like
more parity then.
There shouldn't be like that because 15s would never. I remember when that would have been like breaking news. People would have been shook.
Has something changed in the process other than the NIL stuff?
Good question. Yeah, I don't know.
Is it the NIL stuff? Did it affect that? Was that for this recruiting class? I wonder.
That's a good question. But how many of those teams are really getting that stuff? Like Louisiana Lafayette. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I have no idea. I don't know if the local car dealership just want, you know what I mean? They're getting something. Might not be the, Apple or.
You do have some big teams though that are ranked kind of low, like Pittsburgh being an 11 and Michigan State being a 7. Those are low for perennial decent teams, and with good coaches for experience. So
that's why when I see some of these rankings and I listen to these guys talk, and they're talking like I said, I could be watching, let's say ESPN, and they're talking about like say number 12 versus 3,
right?
And they are talking, and they know 12 is going to whip 3's ass, and I'm like, well, how are they 3 then? Like that's right. What confuses me. Is it all just plain based on record at all? Is that all it's based on, is record?
It's record and strength of your conference.
So it's not like college football is.
No, it's different. It's different.
Okay.
It's a little better, I think, actually, because if you win your conference, you're in automatically, no matter what.
That's what I'm confused with. That's with college. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit ignorant to some of this stuff because I just don't follow it.
Like if you win your conference, you're in. That's it. I don't care if you had 5 wins all season, but for some miraculous reason you sweep through and win your conference tournament, you're in. And then of course there's at large, teams that can get in that didn't win their conference, like Michigan State, like there are a whole bunch of them. And they're usually lower ranked because, Alabama's a 1 and they looked awfully good. They looked really good as 1. I mean, they were. Yeah,
they look great, man. They're probably going to win the whole thing, huh?
And that's a shocker because they were never good at basketball. This
really
only happened in the last 3-4 years. It was always just football. And basketball, like Ohio State's not good at basketball. Last year they had their like a little bit, but generally they don't win. And Alabama, my God, they just came out of nowhere. Really did.
Yeah, I bet them the other night, man, because everybody was talking about how awesome they were. I mean, everybody that I've heard is saying. I mean, I told you I threw $5 on Duke because I heard a little bit of chatter about them. So I figured $5 ain't gonna kill me. The odds dropped like a champ, so they must have done well. They played their first game and won, obviously. So, but we'll see. You never know. Might get lucky.
Like Duke is a 5 this year, I think.
See, and now that's why I'm like, well, why are they so much? Why do you think they're better than Alabama if they had to face them? Do you know what I mean? That's what I get confused about college basketball and stuff. Is it?
Yeah.
I hear so many different opinions in the rankings, and I'm like,
yeah,
wow, like. I hear people talk, and it doesn't make sense based on what the rankings are. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Definitely, and
it's a little hard to follow. That's probably why I don't until March Madness.
I don't really either till March Madness. I mean, I'll pay attention a little, but I don't get into it. Like
it's too much.
Football. It's a lot. It's 68 teams.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know what it is, Scott? I think sometimes because of like how John just explained, because if you win your conference, you're in. Those teams were ranked higher usually than teams that didn't win their conference but might be a better team.
That happens sometimes.
A lot of times.
That happens. Yeah. It's just it's a weird thing. You got, like, when you think about the brackets, it's 1 through 16 in each, south, east, west, whatever. And then why do you have a play-in game for 11? 2 11s play each other? I understand 2 16s.
Yeah, right.
2 11. So
isn't it supposed to be like 15-1 and 14-2? Isn't that how you're supposed to do that?
That's how it starts. But they always in the beginning. This is what I don't understand. If you want to have the 2, like, let's say whoever's on the bubble at the end, like, you throw in the top 64, but there's 65, 66. So you're gonna have the 16s all play each other to see who gets in. To throw an 11 in with another 11 to see who makes it, wouldn't they be better than the other 16? Like, so then just make them 16.
Of course.
Like,
yeah,
so
exactly.
It makes no sense.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
I'd be pissed off if I was an 11.
The loser should be a 12,
right?
And it should bump down everyone to the point where it knocks off a 16.
True.
We just fixed it. We just fixed it in
we fixed it.
30 seconds.
Yep.
Well, what's the problem?
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It's so frustrating.
It is frustrating. I know. Don't make sense.
That's why I've heard, because I didn't get into college when I was younger, watching college football and stuff. Hearing everything I heard over the years, it's probably what kept me away from it. I hear nothing but complaining about the process. And I'm like, why do I want to even get myself involved in that and be and know I'm going to get angry at some point because the team I'm going to follow, regardless of who it is probably going to get screwed at some point in time because it seems like they all do.
Yeah, and you know what's sick is I always thought that college basketball was better than college football.
Oh, no doubt.
And now this here, I guess what I don't understand, this is the first year. I mean, you know what? Remember when Gonzaga started out one time as a 15 or 14, and all of a sudden they're one of the best teams in the country. So they built their way up somehow, some way. This year, though, there is no way in my mind that all these 15s, 14s, 13s, they're playing to the point. I mean, these games are super close, and I'm not used to that. Robin, are you used to? I mean, that's not generally what would happen.
No.
To be that close, like maybe one, maybe, but Jesus. I mean, Furman, Princeton, right now, Iona's coming back. There's a lot of time left. You just got a lot of teams, man.
A lot of unders hit. Yeah, I guess the unders was the theme of the day yesterday. A lot of unders hitting.
And I could see why. 1 second, I'll get right back to you, Robin. I could see why on the unders because teams like Princeton, you've got to keep it under. If you're going to win a game as a 15 or a 14, you don't want to start to try to outscore, a fucking. You
got to play great defense and get them rebounds. That's about his best. I mean, as long as you got a big guy.
Yeah, Robin.
Iona doesn't surprise me so much with Pitino there. I feel like just his, pedigree in the tournament. I think a lower seeded team like that, you maybe expect them to keep it close, or you expect, and that's the type of team you would expect an upset out of, is an Iona coach or a Rick Pitino coached Iona.
Yeah.
But these other teams like Princeton and Furman, I mean.
Yeah, no, Furman, number 12, College of Charleston was someone a lot of people like to take.
Yeah, Who was it last year?
Oh, God. Right. There was someone last year.
Wasn't there a team that went far and everybody was like, yeah, and they ended up getting knocked off? I don't remember the college that it was. It was somebody it was somebody different.
Yeah, out of the blue. Yeah. No. But Rick Pitino is going to probably leave. I think he's going to St. John's or something.
Is he?
Yeah. North Carolina's not even in the tournament this year.
I know.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
When was the last
How's
time
that
happened?
They were just that bad?
They haven't been. Them and Duke have really fallen off.
I was going to say, they were like, God, when we were in high school.
Yeah.
They were the shit, man. The Tar Heels were the shit.
Yeah.
Because I remember everybody was fouling and they were repping their gear all the time. So you knew they were hot, They have fallen on tough times a little bit. I know Duke has too a little, but they're in there at least. They're playing good right now. Duke's like in it every single year, aren't they?
Yeah. Coach K,
pretty much.
Them in North Carolina, that's crazy. I don't know, was North Carolina in last year? I don't even remember. They might have been.
I think they were.
Were they?
What is it? What's the problem? Coach?
That's a good question. I don't think so because it's Byron. What's his name? Davis. He used to play for them. I like him.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I mean,
with Duke, I think it's just starting a new era after Coach K.
Yeah. Yeah, because look
he's been there he was there for so long that I think it's just the foundation almost has to start all over again without him.
Yeah.
Even though wasn't it one of his assistants?
Oh, sure it was. Yes.
Took over.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, North Carolina, God, why am I forgetting his name? I know his last name is Davis. Anyways, he played for them. He's a good one. I don't know what's going on. North Carolina had a decent year. I'm surprised they didn't make it. Because remember when they played Duke? Bet the game. I bet Duke, North Carolina this year. And I think North Carolina beat them in that one game, I think. But then they lost to them in the tournament.
Right.
But then Duke killed them. Duke got better progressively as the year went on, where North Carolina kind of went downhill. All right. You know what we're going to do now, Scott? I want to take a commercial or break. Because I want to come back to just get into some of this stuff here.
Ooh, Latia. I'm going to let you have your own little what? Not let you. It's your show. You should take about a good little 10, 15-minute block and discuss this. Your team did phenomenal.
Yeah,
I'm very happy. I'm very, very happy for you. When I saw what they were doing, they did smart things. They've done – we talked about how you can screw it up pretty easy. Yeah, and I'm pretty impressed with him so far. I think he's done you pretty good.
Yeah, I think he's done really well. We'll get into that.
We'll get into it. We'll talk about everything.
Yeah, let me find the commercial break. We'll be back in about a minute and a half.
Digits 988 can save a life. If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides connection to free confidential support. There is hope. The Lifeline works. For 24/7 confidential support, just call, text, or chat 988.
All right, welcome back. There it is. NFL free agency has been going crazy. Of course, it's been fun as usual, and of course trades, everything else. But we were talking about the Bears before we went to the break. So they get Edmonds from Buffalo for 4 years, $72 million. TJ Edwards for 3 years, $19.5 million, which is nice because they need defensive help. 2 linebackers along with Jack Sanborn. It was funny. The two of them combined are only $2 million more than what Roquan Smith wanted a year. So that's kind of a good, you know what I mean, a good payoff for them too.
For sure.
So you got Edmonds, you got Jack Sanborn, TJ Edwards. Sounds good. DJ Moore, of course, in the trade. Nate Davis.
That's such a good pickup, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I love that for him, man, for Justin Fields. I really think that he's going to help a lot. I think he's going to be a difference maker for him, man. Really.
It could be his guy, you know. It could be. I hope so. It has to be.
Who do you have a tight end there?
They got Cole Kmet, and they brought that guy in from the Packers, Tanyan.
Tanyan, he's not bad. I remember he's played quite a bit.
Those two guys.
Not a ton, but he's had his, he was in a rotation, I believe, in Green Bay.
They got a new running back in Donta Foreman because Montgomery went to the Lions for 3 years.
Donta Foreman's not bad.
No, he had the same numbers. So you got.
I think Buffalo tried to get him a couple of years ago. I think was it Foreman? I think it was Foreman.
You got
he used to be with Atlanta, right?
Yes, he was with Atlanta.
Yeah, I think Buffalo tried to get him at some point, but they weren't willing to let him go with that.
And the Bears still have Khalil Herbert, so that's fine. I mean, this is, you know what's good about this for the Bears. Then we'll get to some other shit, but
John, take as much time as you want with it.
Well,
you deserve it, dude. You let me have plenty of time with the Bills last year with Von Miller. Wallow in it, dude.
Yeah. Well,
seriously.
Here's one thing that's cool about what they've done. If Fields struggles enough to where they feel like they got to go in another direction, I like that they have those 2 draft picks. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because Carolina's going to be bad. And if Fields is struggling, they're going to be bad. So
Carolina's going to probably start a rookie quarterback, aren't they? Or are they going to? Well, it's going to depend on who they get, I guess.
Yeah, because I don't think they got. I don't know.
No, they got a backup. I can't remember who it is, but it's someone halfway decent. They just grabbed him.
Carolina. Now Carolina has.
Carolina got Andy Dalton.
Yeah, so he serves. So he'll probably start, right? And dude will probably take over midseason. Andy Dalton's horrible, so they might win a couple games, but they're probably going to be under 500, I would imagine, with him at the helm.
And I thought Carolina brought in Miles Sanders. And
I like that because they actually got a pretty strong running game as it was. Who was
do.
the running back last year?
Dante Foreman.
Yep.
Didn't they have another? Didn't they have two though?
They had someone else. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I believe it was a 1-2 punch kind of a deal with them. It wasn't just all Dante Foreman.
You're right. It definitely wasn't. I can't freaking remember. But you're right, because that's why I think Foreman and Khalil Herbert are going to be in.
Miles Sanders is a great sign.
Yeah, and they got Von Bell on the defensive side.
I was hoping Buffalo was going to go in that direction, but it looks like they're going to push for Cook to stay as the number one. They got to pick somebody else up, which I'm waiting. I was like, Austin Eckler's out there.
I like Cook. Cook's got to be given an up because that kid.
He's going to get it. He's going to be the starter this year.
He should be, because towards the end, the last 5 weeks or whatever.
Oh my God, dude!
He's showing you what can happen.
15-yard run. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, dude. And the weird thing about him is he looks slow doing it.
It's like his brother, just like Dalvin.
He looks slow, but he's running so much faster than that. And I don't know why that is. I know there are some running backs that I've seen, plenty of them actually, that they look slower. They just don't look like they're running as fast.
I think
they're flying.
Special. I think he can be what they want. What's that, Robin?
Just real quick, going back to Carolina, they got Hayden Hurst too, which I think is interesting, just given the lack of quality tight ends out there. I like
Hayden Hurst.
I think it'll be interesting with a shitty quarterback to see if there's not a lot of dump off passes to a
for fantasy.
Hayden Hurst, wasn't he originally with Cleveland?
Was he
originally with Cleveland, or has he always been with Carolina?
He was a Bengal, and I think he played
a Bengal. Okay,
he did play with Andy Dalton. You're right, and he was. You bring up tight ends. It's something that just I don't know what the Vikings and Josh Oliver, who I don't know who the hell that is. He's had 26 catches. They paid him pretty good for. Yeah. I don't get where that came from. I don't even know who he is. I forgot to even look where he came from.
What, they just signed him?
From the Ravens, Josh Oliver. Yeah.
I've never heard of him before. Mark Andrews was the tight end for the Ravens, so he maybe was sitting in a backup role, but I'd never heard of him.
Only 26 catches in his career. And I mean, I'm not saying they
paid. Any touchdowns?
7 years.
Any touchdowns?
No, not really. Nothing to speak of.
Almost an identical contract to Hurst.
3 years, $21 million.
Yeah, Hurst got 3 years, 21.8.
That's weird.
Yeah,
that's very weird.
They see something in him. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if they get a good one,
but you never know.
Yeah,
but in my mind, though, is and we knew this. Look at how much money and they deserve it because that's how you win, I guess. Look how much the offensive tackles get. I mean, what is that? McClinchy there, he got 5 years, $87.5 million. I think Orlando Brown cashed in pretty good. 4 years, 64. So, I mean.
Hey, what do you think about that situation now with Cincinnati?
They want to trade. That kid wants to trade, right? That 24-year-old.
No. Well, they're saying they want to trade him, but they're on the hook for a good chunk of money with him, are they not?
They probably are.
Well, if they've got to pay him, they're not going to cut him. That's for sure. So I wonder, and he's relatively young. I wonder why they want to move on from him.
24 years old. That's it.
Was he not good for them?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because their offensive line was always a big. Still, even this year was a question mark.
Last year they had shored it up, is what they
tried.
said. They brought in 2 free agents.
It didn't work. Though, remember?
I mean,
it didn't work till the end of the season.
See, it amazes me how teams are able to sign. Then again, they don't have the contracts coming due. So Cincinnati must be trying to somewhat go all in, I guess you would say.
Yeah, they had a lot of money. Yeah.
So they don't have to worry about star players on offense. Really, they're pretty much solid in that department. I get it. Well, there's still guys under Rick Henry. This will be the last year, I think, for Cincinnati being able to do that, right?
It should be.
T. Higgins is coming due, or I thought T. Higgins. Yeah,
T. Higgins is already. Yeah,
because he is already due, isn't he?
I thought so because I thought I heard about him being traded all the time. They kept talking about a possible trade with T. Higgins, but I don't know.
Maybe they're waiting for now. It could be a draft day thing then. Maybe.
Yeah. I was looking before we went on because you lose track of everything. There's some things that were pretty interesting. Robert Woods, you brought him up last week, and I see, unfortunately for him, he goes to Houston. He's going to go to Houston and just be.
That's where his career will die.
He dies in Houston
because you're going to have a rookie quarterback. But for a rookie quarterback, it's a pretty good wide receiver to have.
2 years, $17 million for Woods.
Guy's a sure-handed wide receiver. 2 years, $17 million. See, that's the move. Like I said, I wish Buffalo would have thought about bringing him in.
Yeah.
They got to bring in another veteran, man. They have to.
I see New England got Juju Smith-Schuster. 3 years.
What do you
33
think
million.
about New England getting Gesicki?
That was pretty interesting.
It's to me too, because the past couple of years they haven't really utilized their tight ends. I know Bill O'Brien's there. Is he now in his scheme? Do you remember? I don't remember the tight end being a big deal. I think it was Owens in Houston when Bill O'Brien was there.
Yeah, I don't recall.
Owens was his name, but I don't remember him being a big part of the offense.
And he's coming from Alabama, right?
And he was bitching because they caught him on hot mic with when they played the Bills. And he was talking to Dawson Knox, and he was telling Dawson Knox, hey, man, at least they're using you. Like he kind of said that. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, shit. Now, because I was wondering why Gesicki fell off the map last year.
State guy, man. He was good in college. I mean,
dude, 2 years ago, he was great. He was a touchdown machine.
It's weird.
He was really good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think what happens is, and this is just, it shouldn't have. I don't know. That's a real good question.
He just got enamored with Tyreek Hill and decided they were just going to cut him off.
And everything, and I think he should do good in New England.
I mean, think about that though. Why wouldn't you utilize the guy for your underneath stuff if you need? You know what I'm saying?
I know he had
That's
a lot.
Why it didn't make sense why they never threw him the ball.
One thing I will say though that I did read when I was looking about him is some of the complaints where he dropped the ball a lot this year.
Really?
There was
okay. Okay, that's on me. I have not. I don't follow the Dolphins, obviously. The year before, he was a great player.
There was some drops that they were very. I don't know. I think then it just, and then of course, my God, after Tua gets hurt, now you're going through that circus of, quarterback.
Usually your tight end is your safety valve.
Safety valve
for those guys. You know what I mean?
Now they didn't get another. I don't know who their tight end is now. I can't recall. But I know I like Gesicki. I've always liked him. A Penn State guy, he's good. He'll be good. He should be good for New England, right? I mean, that's what New England you would figure with Jones as your starter.
I hate it, John. I fucking hate it. Can I say that? If it makes New England better, I fucking hate it.
Yeah, okay? Right.
I hope Mac Jones is as horrible as I expect him to still be.
But they lost, what's his name? They lost Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby Myers, yeah. Which I don't understand why would you sign Juju Smith-Schuster and let Jacoby Myers sign for like almost the same amount?
Exact same amount. 3 years, $33 million.
What the fuck does that even mean? Jacoby Myers is a much better wide receiver than Juju Smith-Schuster. You don't have the Juju Smith. You really?
The only
That's
thing
interesting for me, Mr. TikTok in New England. How's that going to work?
Yeah.
You know they're going to not. He's not going to be doing it anymore.
Well, Jacoby must have wanted to leave. And can you blame him? He probably.
Well, I don't know. The way he looked at what he said on the internet, it didn't seem like it.
No,
it seemed like he was just kind of like he pointed out the fact that they signed for the same money.
Did he?
Didn't make sense, right? That's what I got out of his tweet.
Yeah, no, I had thought just being a receiver, that's the place you don't want to be. Like I don't know, they just aren't. They are a very boring.
Bill Belichick is the offensive coordinator, the general manager, the head coach. I mean, obviously. He's not good at being an offense coordinator. Stick to defense, Bill.
Defense. That's his thing. What else we got? Oh, Kansas City does sign Jawan Taylor, 4 years, $80 million from Jacksonville to kind of replace Orlando Brown. So that kind of just back and forth. Poyer goes back to the Bills for 2 years.
I love it.
Milano.
I think he got humbled too.
Yep. You know what? It was a good.
He got humbled, dude. I told you. He was looking for big money and he wasn't going to get it.
Yep.
He's too old and he gets hurt. I love the guy, really. I'm glad he's on my team. The dude is a warrior when he's on the field. He's a great player. His wife, she's a whole nother issue. But anyway, I get it. He put it out there. He wanted to make as much as he could, go to a state where he wasn't going to have to pay a lot of taxes. But I think he got humbled, man. Especially once Miami signed whatchamacallit, and he's like 5 or 6 years younger than him. I'm like, dude, they're not gonna.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not, they don't know if they're going to go on a run right now. They don't know what's up with their quarterback.
Well, Poyer,
you know what I mean?
You have Poyer and Hyde. That'll be good. If everyone's healthy, that's a good.
Love it. As long as they stay healthy, they're one of the best safety tandems in the NFL.
Yeah. Robin?
Yeah.
I think, speaking of that division, that getting Mike White as the backup in Miami was an incredible decision.
That was a cool idea.
It was a very smart move, man.
I think it was an incredibly smart move. I think it made the Dolphins a lot better to know that there's somebody
who's okay.
Dude, I love his personality. He is literally the backup quarterback, and he's tweeting out videos of him in a car with some other, I don't know what it was he tweeted out, but he's got a really big personality, and he's a great backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Speaking of that division, and I was laughing so hard when I saw the thing with Aaron Rodgers telling Schefter to lose his phone number. And that
awesome.
And that Rossini, I can't remember her first name.
Diana.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I'll tell you what. And then of course, I was trying to get a little clip, but for some reason,
how is he going to handle New York, John?
I think he'll be
with the media. He hates the media of all things.
He'll make them run.
He is going to be hounded out there in New York.
But he loves. I think he kind of loves it.
Yeah, he loves.
He'll make.
I know he loves it, but it's a little bit of a. I think the New York press a little bit of a different animal. Maybe he won't bait him like he does everybody else, but who knows?
If he wins,
but he hasn't signed yet.
Yeah, right. If he wins, they will love him. He will be the god of all. But I think.
I hope they drag it out for as long as humanly possible.
Well,
can we take it? Can we take it to the end of May? right before you, just to fuck that thing up for them as best as possible.
Because I know they're going to be good. He will be that first year. That first year is going to be the lightning in a bottle. That first year with him and all the things, it damn well it's going to be good.
Is he going to? Well, it'll tell me if he's really, really scorched earth, Aaron Rodgers. If he goes to their OTAs, because he doesn't, he'll be scorched earth.
Oh, yeah. He'll have.
If he goes, because Pat McAfee even asked him, and he dodged it. He sidestepped the question, didn't answer it.
Right. I saw that.
Or not him. I think AJ Hawk might have actually asked him. But so if he does that and he develops a chemistry with that wide receiver,
yeah,
I hate it for me. I mean, I really do.
I'm so happy he's gone. The Bears could win that division now that he's gone.
What the fuck, man? Like, get rid of Brady, and now I got Rod. Like, really? Like, really, dude? Why does everybody got to go to the AFC East? Like, why?
Well, the Jets.
Seriously, dude.
They've been bad.
The Patriots got Randy Moss. They get all the big stars that get traded. I'm like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, if Tua gets hurt, maybe Brady will come out of retirement. How about fuck off?
Yeah, right.
With that, okay? Why does that even got to be talked about? And I could believe it to happen. I would totally believe it happening.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me either.
I could totally see it happen, right? Yeah. And I'm just like, and that would be the year Buffalo's top year, and he would come back and throw a stake in the heart. That would just be my luck.
If Rodgers ends up there, AFC East is going to be awfully good. It'll be what we thought the AFC West
was going to be. Dude, the Jets are going to be, with that defense.
I know.
They're going to be so hard. They could run. They could be an 85 Bears. I could see it. That defense is good, man.
Buffalo, Miami, and the Jets are going to be good. And New England is going to be okay. They won't be easy.
Probably be the hardest division in football.
I think so. That'll be the AFC West that we thought was going to happen. Speaking of the AFC West,
they're going to kill John. They're going to kill each other, dude. What we thought was going to happen in the AFC West is going to happen in the AFC East.
The AFC West. You know what? The Raiders forever and ever have confused me, and now Jimmy Garoppolo goes there.
He wins.
3 years, $67 million.
He wins.
Well,
I mean, how can you say anything that? I mean, yeah, he gets hurt a lot, but the dude, his record of winning is there.
That's the problem, right? It's just it's not if, it's when and for how long.
Yeah, he's going to get hurt. He gets hurt every single year.
That's the fear. I don't know. They got to have someone.
What's their offensive line like?
Nothing.
Was Derek Carr running for his life last year? Like, how many times did he get sacked? I wonder.
That's a good question. I don't know.
They didn't sign.
They haven't signed anyone yet. Yeah.
See, that's telling me, like, so are they good? Are they their offensive line? Are they happy with it?
I remember how mad they were over Leatherwood. I mean, they were so pissed off over Alex Leatherwood. And speaking of the quarterback stuff, did I see that what's his name went somewhere? Sam Darnold. Where is he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, where'd he go? He's backing up. Or no, is he at the Rams?
No, it was at the. Well, no, I was going to say Baker Mayfield's with the Bucks. Sam Darnold's with San Francisco.
San Francisco. Yeah. Really?
The
are they starting him?
They might. Because
so they're sticking with Purdy.
If he can, yeah.
What about their other quarterback? Isn't he going to be ready?
What is it, like 18 months after that kind of an injury? So he probably won't be ready.
What a mess they're in.
Purdy, though, is going to be back earlier than expected.
Now,
I don't
what's the record of people coming back from that surgery as a quarterback? Who do we know that's had it?
Who's had that kind of surgery? I'm trying to think. That torn up knee at quarterback.
I remember what's his name had it for the Bills. Rob Johnson had it.
I remember that. I remember
he sucked anyway, so that really didn't. You couldn't gauge that.
Why can't I recall? There's got to be other, like, did Michael? No, Michael Vick never blew it out. I can't even think of who else. I can't think off the top of my head other quarterback. I know Achilles is like, I can remember guys getting their Achilles hurt, and that is the worst. Dan Marino was slow, but after they broke his Achilles, he was barely mobile.
Yeah.
I remember. I'll never forget when that happened. He was running out of bounds and his Achilles went. No one even touched him.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a good question on that. I'm trying to think of running quarterbacks who might have gotten that kind of an injury. And all I know is, though, it's got to be a long process, because where do they tear them up a lot.
Jake Delhomme.
Okay. I remember
That's
him.
right. I remember Jake Delhomme.
He made a
I
big.
remember that.
He made some big.
That
money,
ruined his
remember?
career, didn't it? That ruined his career. I think.
Yeah, because he signed a huge contract because he was the backup in New Orleans, right? And he ended up, or wherever the hell he was.
So that's
Carolina.
probably the most popular one.
Interesting. I don't know. Trey Lance, I feel bad because obviously he's never got a chance to get out of the starting gate.
Carson Palmer?
Yes, that's right. In that playoff game.
But then he went to the Raiders, right?
Against the Steelers. Remember when they fucked him up? That was, yes.
Okay, so then I mean, obviously it's on an individual basis, but Carson Palmer came back and wasn't that bad after that. Because then you go to the Raiders, and he did all right with the Raiders.
I think he was all right. He was okay. Yeah, he was normal. Because he was never mobile anyways. So he was.
I mean, I don't know how many 300-yard games he passed. Right, I have to look that all up. But he's the most notable, obviously, that I was able to find.
Yeah. Oh, I remember. I can still see that when they hit. I can still see the Steelers. Whoever that was that got him good. That time. Lamar Jackson's still sitting around. Obviously, someone could make a play for him. But
we've heard the same thing 100 times.
I think they are.
And I've heard a couple different people say what I said. And I just repeated what the other people had said. Nobody's going to do this contract for this guy for that team.
Right.
Like, why would you do that for him? Like, I wish I get that his pride is hurt right now. And he's probably getting humbled by this, which he doesn't really need to be because he's a great quarterback. He's not going to get all that. He's not going to get that money.
No, he can't.
He's not going to get that guaranteed money. So if he waits for it, he's probably going to wait his career out because nobody's going to give it to him. He's the one that's going to have to cave because the NFL owners are not going to cave to him.
No, because they got to be so angry. We talked about this last week with the Browns.
Sure. We're like, this is not going to be a fucking thing. And this is where we're going to make it a point.
The Browns really fucked everything up for the owners.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And the players, everybody involved.
I'm sure the owner of Baltimore wants to kill him right now.
Sure. Yeah, I would. And they hate each other anyway.
His team.
Yeah.
Cleveland always have hated each other. So
you got to wonder if they did it for that reason.
But everybody's saying, dude, I like Lamar Jackson. I do.
Yeah, I do too.
Is he that good of a quarterback where he deserves that kind of money? I'm sorry. No, he doesn't.
Probably not.
He's not that. He was the MVP.
It's the problem.
3 years ago.
The problem
he's good.
That's the problem. You compare the two, and then you're like, oh,
Lamar Jackson does deserve it.
That's
Deshaun Watson is the standard.
I know, and he is.
Right.
And he's the standard for everyone coming forward.
I know. See, that sucks. Mm-hmm. It really does. It sucks. I think the owners are like, nope, we're going to save this. That was a dipshit owner that went rebel on his own, and we're keeping it like that. I'm telling you, that's what the owners are doing. They're making a point of it.
They have to.
J.J. Watt today made a big deal about it. Oh, all the owners on a McAfee show, he was like, all the owners came out so fast. And I'm like, what did you think they were going to do, dude? You guys are like a war. You're at war. You guys are out there preaching for your side right now. Those owners are not going to budge. And they don't have to.
Well, because heaven forbid they should share some of the revenue with the people that are out there actually sacrificing themselves.
I think that they have those meetings, right? The owners' meetings happen all the time, whatever they do. Yeah. You got the commissioner works for the owners. I just can't believe that they knew that was coming.
Right.
It wasn't as though, oh my God, look what he did. It happens. And that's the thing though. How can you, I don't know. How can I feel sorry for Jackson because he's the test. He's the one. He's the guy. It could have been anyone. It could have been any one of these guys that were up.
Yep.
And the only thing I got to say is this too. You kind of you got to want to take less a little bit sometimes so you could have more in the end.
Yeah, I got what you're saying.
You're going to just restructure anyway. You're going to have to. I mean, hasn't he already done it?
Yeah, but I think one of the things is with when you guarantee those contracts, all that money has by the owner, they have to have that.
Right.
And they have to put it in a trust. That's how that works. What if they don't have it? So I'm being serious though.
Yeah, no, it's possible.
What if they don't have it to front up like that? Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying, there's not a lot of owners that can do that have the money to do that.
It would want, this is a big mistake.
John, what if he holds out? They go into this draft. I'd draft a quarterback.
I would too. You'd have to.
You have to, man.
Right now, who's their quarterback? They don't.
Now Lamar has put himself in another situation. Do you see where this is going to go bad for him? I just don't see him winning in this. I just don't I don't see it happening.
I hope Baltimore gets screwed over in the end.
I hope they lose.
Oh, so do I.
Yeah, I can't stand it because this whole thing could have.
I love Lamar Jackson as a player, and I hope he gets paid as much as he.
I don't know
loves
if it would ruin their.
He wants to get paid, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
The problem is though, Robin, they might just be able. You say I understand what you're saying, but what does that do then? There is a salary cap, so now you got a whole issue here. They should have paid him before. See, the problem is they should have done this 2 years ago. They should have been working on this. Right. You know what I mean? Before.
Because also remember those contract numbers, they're just going to keep going up.
They have.
So what's the next one? A $350 million contract that has to be guaranteed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm just saying, dude. I can see where they're at, and the owners are stingy as hell. They're never going to do this,
and it's the owner's fault, right? Ultimately, it's them because they're the ones that pay it. They're the ones that keep it accelerating. They're the ones that do it all. This salary cap shit in the NFL is terrible too. All this restructuring cracks me up. Why even have a cap?
Right.
I mean, it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Here's the void year at the end of your contract. So regardless of how good you are, this is our guarantee is when we're gonna fucking do either cut you, trade you, or redo your contract before you even get to that point.
Half-assed cap, but all right. I mean, they play within it. I don't know.
With signing bonuses, the salary cap's just a joke.
Yeah.
So if your owner can afford to pay somebody up front like that,
you're good.
They're willing to do it, which a lot of owners, obviously, it's about 50%, I think, or probably less than that are usually willing to do that. Then, that's how you get yourself a Super Bowl ring. You got to pay for it. You got to buy it, man. You do.
Then, did you see some of the guys like Mariota as the backup in Philadelphia? I see he signed there.
That's great.
I know what a nice backup that
That's
is.
Awesome for them. That's fucking awesome. They just got a starting quarterback as their backup.
I know that's good. The Bears signed that guy who I kind of liked. It's but he's not good. PJ Walker, remember him for Carolina?
But he's got the similar style to your guy, and that's awesome that they did that.
Do. Yeah. Baker
just
Mayfield.
Like Baltimore.
How about Baker Mayfield to Tampa?
Yeah, Baker Mayfield to Tampa. That's interesting.
PJ Walker was with Baltimore, right?
And Carolina. I know,
when he was in Baltimore, he was like I remember didn't he have that really good season when Lamar got hurt?
I think was that him? No.
Was that PJ Walker? Who was that?
Remember, there was a guy. Why can't I
Who's the quarterback in Baltimore that mocks Lamar Jackson to a T?
Yeah,
it wasn't even like he was out.
Yeah, tell me who that was. Robin's going to check it, find it.
I'm sorry, I misspoken. I thought that was the same guy.
No, off the top of my head. But I mean, I don't know. It's just funny seeing these guys. Like, I wonder, does Baker end up being the starter? I guess in Tampa, he's the starter.
He's assumed to be, I would guess, right?
And what did they pay him? Let me see. Baker Mayfield got 1 year. Oh, just a 1 year deal. That was it.
Hey, how about Jameis Winston saying, "I'm all good with being the backup.
Yeah,
I just want to stay in New Orleans."
Good for him. That's cool.
I think he's realized that if he leaves New Orleans, dude, he's going to be a backup or maybe out of the NFL.
Yeah, and bounce around all around. I think.
Can you believe, John? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No problem.
Jameis Winston. After how he was in college, are you really shocked that he was as bad in the NFL?
Yeah,
the guy was a touchdown machine, but he just ended up throwing just as many interceptions or more than he threw touchdowns.
I wish, and he couldn't. How could you go with that? You can't. How can you sit and be patient? I'd love to have seen if there had been any growth of him, but teams couldn't wait no more for him to. You know what I mean?
What happened? Was he? I mean, he was like the number one quarterback coming out of college.
So many of those guys, right? Remember that Matt Leinart? He was so good, and he's.
I know. What was it? So was it more just the system they were in more than their talents?
It had to be, right? But they play. The
NFL exposes you, man. The NFL exposes you big time.
Who was it?
PJ Walker is the Lamar Jackson of the XFL.
That's what PJ Walker was.
Yeah.
And who played for Baltimore?
That
Who was
I
the
haven't-
backup for Baltimore?
Probably the current backup right now. It's, I believe, probably the same guy.
Tyler Huntley.
Right?
Yes.
Is he the
He
backup?
is. I can't believe that guy hasn't taken off.
yeah.
He got
Yeah.
starting
That's
gig
who's the
somewhere.
backup currently.
And I think that's the one we're talking about.
Okay.
Tyler Huntley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tyler
That guy's-
Huntley's the backup.
He's probably probably one of the best fucking backup quarterbacks
Yeah.
in the league.
He's awful. Yeah, he's good. And
He's very good, man.
now, as far as before we get into some picks and stuff, there's some guys left. I wrote down the best left, I think. They got that safety for Philadelphia, Gardner Johnson. He was awfully good, and I remember from New Orleans to Philadelphia. Jadeveon Clowney, who I don't like. I haven't liked him since the day
He's like the rent-a-player.
came out of college. I just don't think he's never lived up to his hype. Dalton Schultz, tight end of
I'm
Dallas.
kind of surprised about that, man.
Which one? Dalton?
He's really good.
Schultz, you mean? Dalton
Yeah,
Schultz?
he's been a pretty good player for Dallas. I can't believe they got rid of him.
Ezekiel Elliott, obviously, he's gone. He's out
Well,
there.
that contract, you knew that was going to happen.
Had to happen.
Oh, dude, that contract is huge. Tony Pollard is the man there, dude.
Yeah, he is. He
He's
is.
the man. That
I
dude's
thought the
great.
Eagles might bring him in.
Yeah, I'm really
Elliott.
surprised that Jerry Jones let that happen. Elliott was his guy.
Too much money.
Dude, he's your LeGarrette Blunt now. He's LeGarrette Blunt.
He could be, and that means he could. Yeah, I would love to have him as my backup.
Yeah, dude, I'd love to have him as my red zone guy.
He's a machine. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, he is.
Rock Ya-Sin. He's out there, the corner from Las Vegas. Yannick Ngakoue. That's how you say his name.
Mhm.
From Indy, which I thought the Bears were going to get a hold of. DJ Chark, and then some defense.
Chark is halfway decent.
Yeah, some guard. He could be a good second or third guy, maybe a third.
For sure. He's a good number 3.
Yeah, number 3 for sure.
He might fit in well with you guys in Buffalo. It's possible.
I would take him.
You know,
I
that
think he's
could be
been
a-
halfway decent.
Yeah.
He's better than probably the other, Gabe Davis. So I saw Isaiah McKenzie got let go. He's been really.
Had to. John had to.
No, I know.
They ran its course, dude. It was a nice story.
Hopefully he
Great personality.
maybe he hooks on somewhere and does what.
I don't think so. If you notice, most of the players, when they end up getting cut from the Bills, they never end up on another team.
That is weird. That is a strange. Yeah.
If you look into it, it
That's
happens
not
quite a
players,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird. No, it's interesting. Interesting thought. I mean, you've got the corners. A lot of veteran corners were so far in free agency. I noticed, and of course, offensive linemen, because they're just, you need them. You need offensive. It's the beginning of everything. And then we sometimes, I think, as fans, I know I do. You look at the wide receiver, you look at all that, and it's the line. It's always been, and it always will be, even like it was in the 80s.
Well, think about it, and that's the way it should be, because they're the ones that are taking the damage on every single play.
Yeah.
Every single play, they're colliding.
And that's like corners. Corners are disrespected.
Yes.
They get punched, they get stiff armed, they get thrown to the ground, they get body slammed. They can get hit in the head, no one cares.
Right.
I notice. I kind of find that
And
odd.
they're usually not very big.
No, they're 5'10", 180 or
Yeah.
something, and they're
Yeah.
getting.
Yeah. Very
Well,
skinny.
I've seen it now. It isn't just the time with Derrick Henry. Others have done. Quarterbacks. Josh Allen's done it. Other quarterbacks have done it. Other players. They just punch them in the head. It's almost like a head slap that they banned from. Remember when Bubba's from the offensive line?
Oh my God, dude. People, you know how many people probably ended up deaf because of that shit?
Deaf and oh my God.
Seriously, man, cupping that hole on the side of the helmet,
Oh my God.
dude. You know how that would make your? Oh my God, that would hurt so bad.
I'd throw up.
I remember hearing players talk about it when they said when he would do that slap, they were like, your head would just ring. That dude, you got to face him for an entire game. By the time you're done, you're in a coma.
Yeah. So I guess. No, I don't even know what's much left. I mean, we're headed towards the draft now. The draft's only
There's a lot of John.
month away.
There's a lot of guys out there still.
There is.
Okay, now I'm going to read you what was said. Hold on here, because I have to tell you about this. Because this is the shit that makes me laugh with certain players. Okay, now OBJ made a very big deal about last year during the playoffs. He got all those teams to come out there, and he was not in shape.
Right.
That really pissed me off. He really ran his mouth quite a bit. He knew he wasn't in shape, but he put everybody through all that circus that he put through. Great wide receiver. But dude, I'm sorry, when nobody would sign you because you weren't in good enough shape, that's bullshit. That's all. It's all about you, dude.
It always is. Yeah.
He's not getting. He's still out there right now.
Right.
Right. And I'm going to read you what he said the other day. And I couldn't understand. Now I understand what he meant by it. He said, I apologize.
No problem. OBJ.
What he was saying was like, okay, here it is. I guess Mouton is a very expensive wine, I'm guessing.
Okay.
They want to try Mouton, but pay box wine price for it.
Oh, yeah, he's something else. Yeah.
Isn't he?
You can't have him. Who's he?
Oh, here he goes. He responded to Des Bryant because he was like, listen, I'm down to bargain. Whatever. He was talking about people being overrated, but dude, he's asking for a certain amount of money and he's not going to get it. If he was going to get it, he would have already got it.
Sure he would.
Everybody knows how great he is. He must be asking for an absurd amount of money.
And then you got to be afraid that it might be a was. He's not.
I'd love to. Yeah.
You know, because of the injuries and the stuff.
Dude, what if you give him that money, he blows his knee out in the second game?
Oh, and then and then all your hopes are pinned on that. That's what happened to the Rams luckily won. The Rams got, luckily won.
Could have ruined the Super Bowl.
Yeah. But look at how Scotch taped together the Rams were. They fell apart the second. The ring was too heavy for their fingers.
The ring wasn't even on their fingers, and they were already getting their ass kicked.
Yeah.
Well, let's try to do this real quick because we're coming towards our. Hold on a minute, Scott. Let's see if we can do any of it. All right. Let's have some.
Sorry, man. I got to go through the whole thing. I love that thing.
I wish somebody could make us some money because we're taking a beating lately.
Well, our guy on Twitter.
Yeah.
We're going to give it out tonight, seeing as well we have ours in, so our odds cannot be changed at this point.
Let me say one thing.
Go right ahead.
There's a big UFC card tomorrow. It starts at 5 p.m., I think. And I have a little parlay there. It's Usman and what's his name? Fiziev. I love those two. Parlay them together and see what happens. I think Usman wins back the belt. So,
should we give out the parlay of the evening?
Yeah, give it out.
Okay, people. This is from our guy who's been making me and John a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you to bet a lot of money. Please don't bet a lot of money. Only bet what you can afford to lose. Here you go. For tonight, it's a 3-leg parlay with the NBA. You would go on, this is on FanDuel. You would go into the Golden State Warriors versus the Atlanta Hawks. You would bet Steph Curry to score 25 plus points. There is a category that says 25 plus points. That's where you make that bet. Then you add in Alperen Sengun, I'm guessing is his name. In the New Orleans Pelicans Houston Rockets game, he is to record 8 plus rebounds. Same as points. There's a section for rebounds. Then Minnesota Timberwolves at the Chicago Bulls, Zach LaVine to score 25 plus points. Rinse, repeat, same as Steph Curry. There's a 25 plus points area. You throw a few bucks on it. It's plus 232. That means it's probably going to hit.
And this guy's
plus
good.
232. That's probably got good odds of hitting.
And I know, and if you're a DraftKings person, that's where I am. It works similar. Same thing.
Have you noticed the difference in the odds? Big difference?
Not much. See, the problem is
I saw like a full point when I was looking at stuff.
I'm jumping on a little later than I should. Because I think by the time I get on, people have already done some stuff.
You have to do, dude. I've noticed if I don't jump on within a half an hour,
you're up.
The odds jump. I lose so much in the odds.
Sometimes it's so bad that I can't even get 25 and a half anymore. It goes up to like 26 plus. Do you know what I mean? Like all of a sudden, and that always screws you. I did it one. You know who was bad the other night, real quick? It pissed me off. Was last night, Ayton. That guy for the Phoenix Suns last night. He really.
Yeah, people were pissed.
Did a number on.
And he started the game.
He had 10 points.
Wow.
If you notice with our guy, when we lose, it always seems to be so many times it comes down to a half of a point.
You know what we got to do,
That's
Scott?
0.5.
I think what we'll do next week, because this guy's great. And
he's awesome. He's the best. He's the best. I mean, it's unbelievable that it's free.
I know. And I'm trying to think, there's no other way to do this because we'll have to do maybe what time those games start. So you better get in there right now and do them.
Yeah, you've got to get in there because the first game starts at 7:40.
7:40.
Oh yeah, no, it's 6:59. So you got 40
time.
minutes. You got time.
Okay, good. I love it. I already put it in. I already did it. So it's worth a shot. This guy is unbelievable when it comes. And then when you look at the stuff that we're going to have to, God, I want to share stuff, but I know I don't.
I see. That's why I don't. I
I
don't
know.
share it because if we do,
those sheets,
you know how many people that adds to that list that are going to monitor that guy, and as soon as he releases it, we're going to make no money.
I know it's going to go.
John, I have seriously struggled about this myself. I want to share it so bad, but you know what, dude? I'm nice to a fault.
Yeah, but this one
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no, but we're going to give you a parlay that generally wins. It's like 9 times out of 10 he wins.
I'll tell you what, John, if you want to do this, we can do this for people. If they want to monitor the Spitball and Sports Podcast Facebook page.
I love this.
Yes. Every day we will post this guy's best bet.
Okay, I like that.
After we have placed it.
That's a good idea. That's cool. So
we need to check with each other, right?
Yeah,
to make sure, because this is going to go out to a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
If you monitor our Facebook page every day, starting tomorrow,
you'll have it.
We'll post it.
And do us a favor and give us a follow when you go to the page.
Yes. Follow is required.
Yeah, give us a follow. And
I'm not going to make you money. You ain't going to follow me.
Yeah, and I want to thank
everyone. Well, then they would get alerted, right? As soon as we do something, they'd get alerted to it anyway.
Yep, that's what we got to have. So now, Scott, it's St. Patrick's Day weekend. Do you do anything?
No, I'm chilling out probably. My days, man, trust me.
Too tired.
You know what it is, dude? It's just my hangovers. They last too damn long right now. I mean, I've been drinking this whole show. Don't get me wrong. I never was an in-the-house drinker, but I am now.
That's all right. Robin has.
What about you guys?
Not nothing.
Oh, I'm sick.
We're not feeling good. Robin was so sick last night. It was there's something going on around here. The flu or something. Really? I felt terrible this morning.
Our son is sick.
Andy said Robin was. I didn't even know.
Oh, so you guys are just doing the whole merry-go-round right now, passing it through each other. That's
ridiculous. Great. It's probably because you know what I do for a living and how I go out to stores. It's probably because I'm in and out of these stores so much.
You're around so many different people.
It's almost like being at school. So I got to change it. But anyways, all right, we should probably run, Scott. So we'll do that. We'll set people up on our Facebook page. That's perfect.
Promise.
Good idea.
I will make sure I will, as soon as I see it, if you're not, I stay on top of it every day.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make sure I message you.
Yep.
So you know what it is.
All right, perfect. All right, Scott, have a good one.
You too, man. See you guys.
Everyone out there.
Bye, Robin.
Bye, everyone.
Oops.